You're listening to the WMAL Fisher House Radiothon. Call to donate 888-294-8560.
All right, we better get our act together here because we've got an E9 on the line. These guys, they're not going to mess around with me. Welcome to join to the Fisher House Radiothon. Jason David, a retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant. Chief Master Sergeant, what is that? 3 up, 5 down? That's a lot of stripes, Mr. David.
You can add as many as you'd like. It's all the same.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Listen, thanks for joining us today. You were wounded in Iraq during the War on Terror, and that's when Fisher House came into your life. Can you tell us your story?
Yeah, sure can. So, again, my name is Jason, and thanks so much for having me on, guys. I definitely appreciate that. The Fisher House is monumentally important to not just me, but people like me, friends and family that have all had to endure some pretty ridiculous hardships over the past couple of decades, regardless of the armed conflict that they were a part of. But I tell you what, if you're looking for someone to have your back, especially if you're in the military and you're young, right? This is where the Fisher House truly shines. And so I'll just give you a quick synopsis of my life and how that went through. So at the time, I was a junior non-commissioned officer, so I was an E5 at the time. So I only had 4 stripes, okay. Not all the ones I had at the end of my career, right? And so unfortunately, I was hit with indirect fire. It was a munition that exploded, and ultimately, I had about 13 surgeries to kind of piece me back together again, whether it was my spine, my hips, my shoulders, my knee, and so. Throughout that process, and this namely was in Germany, as I was medevaced out and had to have a lot of the initial surgeries there at Landstuhl Regional Medical Center in Germany, and then eventually down at Walter Reed in Bethesda as the injuries progressed over the years. I didn't have a lot of money. My family didn't have a lot of money, and so where the Fisher House again truly shines is specifically, in my case, for younger service members with families. So at the time, it was me, one child, a spouse, and we were making, I think, maybe $1,500 a month. So you split that up between 2 paychecks, you're looking at $750, and that's after, the bills and whatnot. So, we were living fine. We had food on the table, but even then we were not, out there buying the latest video games and going to dinner every night. That's just not possible for a young service member family. And then you look at the cost of things in the world, like a hotel room. Hotel rooms are $150 to $300 a night. Well, I tell you guys, that would have been 3 days of my paycheck, right? Or 3 days worth of hotel stays that would have taken up that entire paycheck for, that bi-monthly payment. And if I had a family that stayed in a hotel for maybe, 2 weeks, I would immediately start going into debt. The Fisher House provides a no cost to service members and their families, basically free hotel stay with food and support and camaraderie. And so not only are your family members taken care of, by, the finance portion, but then they're staying, in kind of a lobby-esque area, almost like an apartment complex with other families that are going through the same thing. And not that makes anything easier, but there's a lot of empathy in those halls. So if you ever go to a Fisher House and check out, some of the welcome books or some of the posters that people assigned or some of the plaques that are dedicated toward the staff members, it's just a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And as we know, and we've been talking about this morning, a donation of even $10 covers one night in a Fisher House. So it's an incredible contribution, big and small. It all makes a difference. And you talk about your family. So your family stayed with you in Landstuhl in Germany as well. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So I obviously was in the hospital. So that's the Fisher House. You can stay there. I'm sure there's no rules against it. But that housing, that billeting is for the family so that they have a place to stay while they're trying to get some rest. And then, within proximity, they can walk to go see you in the hospital, whether you're in the intensive care unit, whether you're an outpatient, regardless of your surgery or your treatment, right? They've got your back so that it's a matter of convenience for food, for family, for support, and then, of course, for cost.
Well,
and you're right. Any donation would be helpful because if you just Google Fisher House impact, over the the many decades that the Fisher House has been up. And I'm not sure if you guys know this. They just stood up their 100th Fisher House.
Yeah.
It's like a charity navigator best practice. There are no better charities on earth, in my opinion. And I say this as a retired Chief Master Sergeant Purple Heart recipient. No one's paying me to say this. I truly believe in it.
Jason, and I got to think, we talk about the cost and we talk about the convenience and all that. And obviously it's like no brainer. It's so important. But for you, recovering from those injuries, knowing that, number one, your family was there in Germany, and you didn't have to worry about them. All you had to worry about was getting better and healing and repairing. And then you have your wife and your kids there to help you therapeutically through that process. You can't put a dollar sign on that.
No, there's so much value in knowing that, the War Department, the Department of Defense, whatever we're calling it these days, that we are partnering with a nonprofit that is specifically built to take care of military members and their families. If you look at the employees that work at Fisher House, the vast majority of them have military ties or military retirees and veterans themselves. So they understand what this means, right? And there's not an ill bone in any of the bodies that are members of the Fisher House. And that makes me happy too. So I've supported a lot of, nonprofit, charities since I retired from the military, and I never have to do research. I never have to think about like, hey, is this money going to go to the right place? No, it's going to young people that get hurt and their families so that they can see each other. And unfortunately, not all of my friends made it out, right? Not everyone gets to have the happy ending that I got to have. But giving that family that ability to at least be there for their service member that's been hurt or injured during probably one of the more critical times of their life, that's what you can't put money on.
Retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant Jason David, thank you so much for joining us and telling your story. And obviously, thank you for your service, and thank you to your family for their service as well.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
You want to honor Jason David's service? You want to thank him? Well, you can thank him by calling Fisher House. Call 888-294-8560, whatever you can give today as we launch headfirst into our 2025 WMAL Fisher House Radiothon. It'll go a long way. We've already come a long way. In fact, we've got a total coming up for you in just a moment after 3.5 hours. But make that donation now, 888-294-8560. It's 8:25.